Sometimes learning a language can feel impossible. At this point, maybe you've tried it all. Finish your language textbooks, done your Anki flashcards, flush down your thoughts with 25 hours of language immersion every day. And you're sick of it. I've been relearning Japanese for a few months now, and sometimes I wonder, does language learning have to be this hard? Because if every person on this earth has been able to pick up a language, why am I incapable of learning another? And as you get older, work starts to pile up, you start to get more responsibilities, and the time to study just diminishes. But is it really over for us? So this video is for people who want to learn a language, but they just don't have the time in their day-to-day, and people who are just burnt out from the grind. I'm going to be ranking my top 5 easy methods for language learning, which should only take around 15 minutes a day. So these strategies will cover all of reading, writing, listening, speaking, and you can pick and choose your favorite strategies and mix and match them too. So learning a language doesn't mean forcing your head into a textbook. It's actually an entryway into different cultures, media, and entertainment. I mean, most people start learning a language because of the media. Why else do you think I started learning Japanese? Obviously for my anime waifus. I remember watching some anime and wishing I could be isekai'd into that world. And then one day, it hit me. What if I can start watching this anime without subtitles? So then I started on my journey of searching how to get good at Japanese on YouTube. And that's probably why you're here. Maybe. Sooner or later though, you might start buying courses and textbooks, and then you start having less time to watch all these dramas and anime, which then leads us to thinking, man, learning a language freaking sucks. But the good news is, you can totally use these dramas and anime to fuel your language learning. The thing about anime and dramas is you can learn directly from native speech. I mean, not really anime, but you can kind of understand. It's also combined with audio and visuals, which just really reinforces the words into your brain. And if you don't know how to do that, I made a full video covering step-by-step how I use YouTube or other media to learn a language. But if you want an easy way to learn languages from media, I want to introduce to you FluentU. So I've been using FluentU for the past 2 weeks, and it's been so good for my language immersion strategy. Immediately, they're giving me content that I spent hours trying to scour on YouTube for. And they also label whether it's for beginner or intermediate, as you can see, which is usually when I go on YouTube, I have to click on it and then I know if it's my level or not. For example, recently I've been doing the classic, let's chat in Japanese. This person is Tanaka-san, who I love on YouTube. FluentU has a Chrome extension that lets you learn from any Netflix or YouTube video that includes subtitles. But if you can't find your favorite YouTube video, you can also import your very own. Another thing that I love about FluentU is I don't have to go to Google Translate and translate every word I don't know. FluentU looks up these words for you directly and combines this with example sentences, audio, and visuals. And the best thing is, it also provides other context where this sentence is used. And by giving me a lot of context, man, the words are so easy to remember now. And not only just vocab, you're also given grammar structures, what the hell. And what if you want to learn vocabulary without hours of Anki? FluentU quizzes you in a way where it feels like you're actually learning. They start by testing words and then building you up to bigger and better sentences. And I really love the quiz feature because I hate doing active recall, but this makes it so seamless for you. This is one of my favorites, is when you can construct your own sentence, because this really tests whether you understand the grammar or not. FluentU is available on web, iOS, Android, so everyone can get it. So, if you want to speed run your language progress, check out link.fluentu.com/Yuna. That is link.fluentu.com/Yuna. The link will also be in the description. Thank you so much to FluentU for sponsoring this video. The best way to learn a language is input. And in order to get a lot of input, we need a strategy that we can do everywhere. I'm talking about on tube journeys, sitting on the couch, whatever. Which is why fourth on the list is reading. Reading is suitable for anyone on any level. With so many resources like graded readers or books for the big boys, blog posts or textbook articles, reading is one of the best ways to review and learn new words, learn new sentence structures and grammar patterns. The flex is, people around you also won't know what you're reading. I mean, I used to be so bored on my tube journeys, I used to just, peek to the person next to me and see what they were up to, and then judge them. So by reading in a foreign language, you'll be able to avoid people like me. However, it's important to find content that is suitable to your level and interest. For example, some people love graded readers, but compared to the things I read, these types of stories don't really interest me. I mean, I went on Amazon and I tried searching for Mandarin graded readers, the first thing that came up was stories about young romance and high school. And that seems sweet. That's cute. But my types of stories are like 1,000-year-olds fairies banging 16-year-olds. Honestly, I don't read as much as I'd want to. For Chinese and Japanese, sometimes it's just really annoying to search up the character because you don't know how the pronunciation is at all, and it totally disrupts the flow of the story. But there's also a caveat to reading. Especially if you are a beginner, reading is difficult because you don't know the proper pronunciation. Chinese has tones that can take years to master, and Japanese has pitch accent. And with Korean, some of the words are just hard to pronounce. If you're not careful, you can learn the words with the wrong pronunciation and build a dangerous habit. So next we'll go over a strategy where we can improve our reading and pronunciation at the same time. Some days you want to just delve into a language without the pressure of learning new vocabulary, new grammar structures, or even think that you're learning the language at all. AKA, you just want to have some fun in that language. And the perfect way to do that is karaoke. Karaoke is the perfect blend for reading and pronunciation, especially if you have some sort of alphabet in your language. It turns out some of the words in Korean are pronounced differently depending on the endings and openings of the words nearby. What the? Why? For example, these two. But then if we imagine this word. 죄송합니다. But why? So we actually pronounce this as I was not going to be studying this stuff from a textbook. And so because I was sad, I decided to sing some sad IU songs instead. Yo, it's my karaoke time. I'll play a bit so you can hear my angelic voice. 끝은 항상 내린 걸 울고 싶지 않아 And it turns out that was really helpful because I was able to pick up these weird rules just from singing along with the bae. If you could guess any of the songs I was singing, please let me know in the comments. And so for beginners who want to work on their pronunciation but are bored from learning from the textbook, I really recommend using karaoke. But you know, songs use poetic words or sentences I'm not going to be using in real life. So yeah, that's an issue. So the next method ensures that we can learn and practice sentences we're actually going to use in real life. If you watch some self-improvement channels, you might be able to guess the next method I'm going to propose. Journaling. Yes, a clear your mind, be mindful type shit. And I know, I'm not usually a kind of a mindful person, but writing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. And writing does not only just improve your writing skills, but also your speaking skills. Let me explain. When you write things that matter to you, you're pre-processing sentences that are meaningful to you. And this means that when you start going into your speaking stage, you can spend less time forming these sentences in your mind. The issue with writing though, or journaling, is that half the time I don't know what I'm supposed to write about because every day I do the same thing. And am I really going to write about my feelings? Personally, I found a system that allows me to just write for 15 minutes a day. I recently started doing short writing sessions to reinforce my JLPT grammar skills. By purposefully choosing sentence structures that I want to review, I can be very intentional with my learning. And most of the time, this is even more enjoyable than grinding textbook grammar exercises because I can choose the words that I want to learn and the sentences that I want to create. And then now for each one, I'm just going to write a random sentence. Tomboy maths, like what do I think? I think... There are no thoughts. And allowing yourself to just express yourself in that language is the end goal of language learning, right? When writing in that language, you're also putting your mind in a different mode, which allows you to think in that language. And when you encounter something that you can't remember, you're going to be more motivated to search it up. So if done consistently, I think writing is one of the most powerful tools out there. But there's something that writing is missing, and that is getting instant feedback. I stumbled across this strategy quite accidentally. In fact, a few years ago, this method didn't even exist. I mean, imagine being able to practice speaking without any judgment from other people. And so now in 2025, we have AI. AI is so powerful because it's literally a language model, which means it's able to correct your vocabulary and your grammar and make you sound more native.
YouTube がおすすめしてくれた for YouTube recommended it to me.
I thought
You're doing great.
I thought Susume was like doing Attack on Titan. When they were going into the titles, they were like, Susume! Susume! Annie? Number 1 on my list is conversing with AI. And yes, I did spend money on premium ChatGPT despite not having any money. But recently, DeepSeek has been released. When they get that speaking ability, I would be switching over to my other hoe. I'm putting speaking to AI as my top strategy because it encompasses the thing that language learners struggle the most with. Speaking. Maybe you're introverted like me, or you don't have many opportunities to practice your speaking. For example, you could be living in a foreign country. With AI, you're not going to get that same connection with friends or family, but for practicing purposes, it's perfect. With AI, you can ask outlandish questions and just not get judged.
YouTube でおすすめだから日本語学び始めて
You're doing a great job.
Can you clap for me?
Because when we speak to natives, sometimes we're so scared of messing things up and we just put on a filter. Or sometimes you might get the same conversation and again and again. I mean, how many times have you heard, wow, how did you learn this language? How long have you been studying this language for? With AI, you can cut out all of that fluff and get to the good stuff. I'll never think of AI as replacing human connection talking to natives, but using AI to boost my confidence in speaking seems to be the way to go.
おやすみなさい。ゆっくり休んでね。My guidelines won't let me talk about that.
She got blocked. She got blocked.
Good night.
That's my top 5 recommendations for easy language learning. Which ones do you think you'll try? Or do you use any of these already? Let me know in the comments. I've used all of these strategies when I've been battling with not enough time, but trying to stay consistent with my language learning. I also wanted to find ways where I could have fun in that language. It's important to stay for the long run rather than burning yourself out at the very beginning. So I hope these strategies will help you stay consistent with your language learning whilst having fun along the way. Remember that you're not alone on this language journey and you can join the language struggle gang. For the people who are interested in learning from media, here's a video where I go through step by step how I learned from YouTube. Remember to also check out Fluent 2. The link will be in the description below. And otherwise, thank you for watching and I shall see you in the next one.